Alright, welcome back. So at the end of the last episode, we got our middleware working. Except for, I'm not entirely sure we got the middleware working. I don't think the fall-through mechanism will work properly. So we're going to work on that. But real quick, I'm going to update something that I just saw. Really, the default for this should be 80, and then that way, if we don't set anything, it'll just be a normal web server. Okay, so as far as the middleware goes, I want to test that the middleware is doing what I expect it to do. So the static middleware handles get, and it basically handles all get. So we can't test it with a get, but it does not handle anything else. So what we should be able to do is create a post call, and the post call should make it so that it falls through to the default handler, which is the method not allowed handler. So we should be able to test that pretty easily. Update Chrome real quick, because okay, all right. Let's see. Not extensions. Maybe it is extensions. No, I don't think it's extensions. Oh, there we go. Postman. Okay, so how do we get Postman open? New tab. Apps. More. It's been so long. Oh, how do we get to the apps? Or the whatevers. Oh, there it is. Postman. Okay. Basic request. Goodness. Can I just cancel? Okay. So I want to do a post request to localhost 3000. And it shouldn't even matter because I should just be able to send. Alright, so this is what I was talking about. Is there a way to cancel? Can we cancel? Oh, right there. Okay, so if I change this to get and I send, then we get something back. Change to post and nothing. Okay, so let's go fix that. Alright. So cancel the request. Alright, so why would it not be falling back correctly? Alright, so if we look at how this thing starts off, let's go ahead and go full screen here. Okay. So we start to listen when we receive a request. Yeah, so we're going to create a server. We're going to bind the request handler to this. So when a new request comes in, it's going to go down to here. We receive the request. We're going to immediately call next request response, and we're passing in our first middleware. All right. Or rather, yeah, we're passing in the first middleware. Correction. We're passing in a copy of the middleware. Still waking up. Okay, so, alright, so we're passing in a copy of the middleware. So what next does is it's going to return a new function, right? And that function is going to execute getting the first thing off of the middleware, the first thing that was put on the middleware. So it's going to pull it off. So in this case, that would be our static file handler, right? And the handler is going to process the request by calling the process command, and the request and response, and then it's going to pass in the next right there. So what is happening is we're never calling next. We're assuming in the static file middleware that if it's not in our handlers, that nothing happens. Right? So if we look at process, process in the HTTP middleware, sorry. Alright, so process receives a request and a response. And it should receive a next, because it's being passed in, so it is receiving a next. So if we can handle, then we're going to handle, and we don't have to pass in, we don't have to do any of that. I don't think. All we need to do is pass in next. Which will get executed, and next should already have access to the request and the response. Yeah. Okay. And otherwise, we need to call next. So this, we need to execute it, right? So assuming that the handler wants to fall through, then it can call next. And if the handler isn't set up to handle, then we call next anyway. Okay. So let's give that a try. VM start. Send that back over. Could not get any response. Okay, well, it blew up. Okay. This underscore next is not a function. Oh. Should be that way anyway. And it's not even this, it's just next. There we go. Let's try that. Ah, there we go. Status. Method not allowed. Fantastic. I'll go back to get. Then we get our data. Okay. So the fall through is working now. Method Method not allowed. Method not allowed. Patch. Method not allowed. Delete. Fantastic. Okay. And that's pretty much all of Postman that I'm ever going to really need. Okay. So now the web server is working. So I'm going to close the web server and all of its pieces that we have open. Okay. I also don't necessarily need index open, I don't think. I don't believe I'm going to be making any changes here for a little bit. Alright, so if we come back and look at this, you see we've got things split out, or not split out. So if I say new folder, theme, new file, I should be able to grab this, paste that in there, and then import theme slash let's try that. Okay, that seemed to work, but did it actually work? Our little thing is working. Alright, kill that, refresh, colors, it did. Okay, fantastic. Alright, so I like that that works. Okay. So now we can actually grab this stuff out. And we can say import layout. And then the only thing in this main really will be the, and I think that that should move up. I think we should import after we set our base. All right. All right, so then that's just simple layout. That is there like that. Does this still work? No, it's mad now. Potentially the imports have to be at the top. Yeah, imports have to be at the top. That's no big deal. In that case, we can do that. All right. Paste that in there. I guess since that has to do with the, it uses the color variable, it should be in the theme. if that's the case, then really we should do that. And then this should just be import the theme. Which seems silly to do that, but there might be some things that aren't theme-based that we would have here. Although it's unlikely. Yeah, let's pull everything out of the theme. I was getting ahead of myself. All right, so back here, will just be reset. Colors. And layout. Reset colors layout. Yep. All right. Fantastic. All right. And then we have our application. All right. We've got a little bit. So in 10 minutes, let's look at how we can kind of start this application off. Obviously, we don't want hello world, right? That's not going to help us at all. And I don't really want this navigation, but I want a dynamic navigation. Okay, so what if we set up dynamic navigation with this first part? I think that I'm going to want for I'm going to do each. Okay, so I'm not going to use, I don't think I said this in the first episode, I'm not going to use Angular, I'm not going to use RxJS, I'm not going to use any of that stuff. I'm going to make up my own thing as I go. Personally, I like the HTML5 data-attributes. They're built in as far as how you can go and get them, so why not use them, right? So I'm going to say data each, and we're going to say site node. Okay, so now we need to create an application context, and I've got a thing for each site node, and then we'll drop this down, which actually this is on the wrong piece. Okay, so it would be ul li navlink Alright, so right off the bat, if we save that and we refresh, then we get a navlink. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so now we have data each. Sitemap. Okay, so that means that we're going to assume this sitemap is an iterable thing. Iteratable thing. It's irritatable. And then for each element in, or for each item in the sitemap array, we're going to use the template that is the body of the of this. Okay? So it's very similar to most of the other frameworks. We just needed a way to iterate, so we're going to use data-each. All right, so if we go to our app, right? So at a very minimum, we need a sitemap. So var sitemap equals that. Somehow we need to get the sitemap into our context. I'll have to think about that, but let's do const. Okay, so let's do const context equals an empty object. This is going to change. This is going to change a lot, but this is the simplest thing that I can think of right now. Okay, so we have a context. It has a sitemap, right? End of story. Pretty simple. So then if we were going to use our context, the simplest way that we can do this is not going to be empty. It's going to be, start with that. Okay. Running out of time. Let's see. We need to find every element in the whole document that has a data-each. And that should be pretty easy. Query, really? Query selector all. And then we're going to use how do we do that? Data attribute. Yeah, whatever. Data-each. So just get all the ones that have data-each. So we'll say const loops. I don't have a better name at the moment. All right, so that should give us every element that has a loop. So we would say for loops for each element. All right, so then we'll just real quick element. Okay, we'll do that. Save. Go over here. Oh, I got my fav icon. I just noticed. Refresh. All right, element. And we get a UL. And it has a sitemap. Fantastic. Okay. So now we need. It's been a while since I've done this by hand, so. Data-columns, dataset.columns, dataset, fantastic. Super, super easy. Dot dataset dot each. All right. So now it should just say sitemap. Sitemap. Awesome. Okay. So now that we can get that, Oh, we also want the template. So L dot inner HTML. So var, no. Template equals inner HTML. No, actually, child nodes. All right. Dot 0. And then we can say that const it doesn't necessarily have to be an array, but I'm going to call it an array. All right. So out of the box, this is going to be horribly inefficient, but we're going to do it, and then we'll go and fix it later. So we're running out of time. All right. Out of the box, we're going to say for each array element, or for each, we're going to item after we get that, we're going to say L.child nodes equals an empty array. For each item, we're going to L.child nodes dot push. I need a new thing here. So we're not even going to do that right now. We're going to say nodes equals an empty array. We're going to push onto nodes template, which will go back and do something with the template shortly. All right, and then we're going to, at the end, we're going to say L.child nodes equals nodes. I think that will do something. Yes, it will get mad. Okay. So can't make a copy there. Let's try it that way. Oh, still mad. Array.forEach is not a function. Oh, yeah. So we have to say context array, right? So if our context doesn't exist, all right, well, it's not mad at me, but it didn't do what I'm hoping it was hoping that it would do. This needs to be like that. All right. So let's look at what child nodes is. Log out the template. All right, text li text. So nodes list. Okay, clearly that's not what I wanted. So let's log out the element itself. All right. I don't want to view it like that. I want to view it as an object. dot children. Children. Yeah, children. Children is the thing I want. So, children. Right. So, children. And then what we're going to do is we're going to children, 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 children. All right. Let's see what that does. Okay, well, it didn't get mad at me. Let's log children. That's not really what I wanted. Children needs to be a new HTML collection. Alright, that's gonna get mad. Illegal constructor. Let's see if we can find HTML collection. Can I do that? Does it get mad at me? Slice is not a function. Oh, we're over time. This is gonna have to wait. That stinks. I really like to have. Okay, I mean, so there is an easier way. We'll do the easy way, then I'll do some research and then come back and fix it. So I can do the template. I can say inner HTML, which I was starting to do. This is not the right way to do it, right? And then we would, instead of doing that and doing that, we would say something like that, and then we would just children plus equal template, and then inner HTML equals children. And this should work, but it's going to be, yeah, so it works, but it's nasty. So we need to go with what would look like the nastier method, but that'll keep it clean by using straight HTML structures. So we just need to figure out how to create an HTML collection, and then we should be golden. Interesting. It's very interesting. That looks like an ugly hack, but we can check it out later. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.